Everyone, my name is Toni, and this is your daily tarot reading. We're going to begin today with looking at the Moonology Oracle cards. So let's see what is in store for you today. Welcome back to you if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, and hello if you are brand new here. I am so glad to have you here with me. So let's see what messages. Oh, and there is Miss Clarabelle. She is joining us as well. So up first, we have the energy is gaining momentum. We also have a time for healing. Oh, this is beautiful. This is very much what's been going on in the messages this week. Let's see, one more card, please. Let's see. We have take the time to breathe out. So this really is kind of a culmination of this entire week coming to a head here. It feels like for some of you, you have finally found your voice, the courage and the bravery to speak up, to say what you need to say. Perhaps even for some of you, you have decided to finally leave or have left a toxic relationship. And for a lot of you this week, this has been a week about acknowledging your fears, facing your fears and dealing with them, really looking at them head on, understanding what they are and how they are impacting you. And as we've been doing the healing work this week, I also had to remind some of you yesterday that it is important, just as important it is to do the work, it is also equally as important to play. You know, there are two sides of the pendulum. You got to keep it equal and even. And so if you're working hard, you got to play hard. And so that was kind of the message this week. You've been working hard, you've been healing, you've been really focusing on those fears. So now where do we go? Well, it says it is time to breathe out. We have really, it is a time for healing, and the energy is gaining momentum. So more or less what I'm seeing here is, for if you've been waiting to pull the trigger, if you've been waiting to, I think some of you at the beginning of this week, it was more of a coming to the truth, acknowledging the understanding of that something in your life is not working for you, whatever that is. And whether some of you, whether it's removing a toxic relationship, or for others of you, it's having the courage to face your fears. And some of you, the courage to face the fear of leaving a toxic relationship, of going in, a different direction. That's very, I know I've been there, and that's not always easy. It's very scary sometimes. So even if a relationship isn't good for you, it's still sometimes the most stable thing you have, and that's scary to leave that stability. And so I think for a lot of you this week, it was just coming to that realization that it's time to move on, gathering your courage, gathering your strength to be ready. Well, now the time has come. The energy is gaining the energy is gaining momentum. The time for healing is now. And so it's time to let it out. It's time to breathe out. It feels like a lot of you have been holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to fall, waiting for when is the moment to proceed? When is the moment to pull the trigger, to leave, to walk out, to actually begin the next step of the journey, okay? Whatever that is for you, whether that's healing, whether that's moving on, whether it's beginning something new, whether it's, actually just learning to like yourself for the first time, taking the steps to heal, it is time, okay? It is time. And so whatever that is, it's time to, that breath that you've been holding on to, waiting for the moment, it is time. Let that breath out, breathe, and focus on healing, okay? So let's see what the tarot has to say. I love this deck, and I almost never use it, so I thought it's a good time to bring it out. The Good Tarot. So let's see what the angels, ancestors, guardians, guides have in store for you today. Definitely this week has been it feels like a very heavy week. The energy has been strong this week, right? And it feels like there's been a lot of deep conversations around, what is the path forward? What is the direction we're going? Are we on the same page? And I think that for some of you, that has gotten to be so stressful that's why the reminder to, one, go play is needed, but also breathe out. It feels like for some of you who haven't played yet, you've been holding your breath, you've been holding on. Let it out. I remember when my father died. My father died just about 2 weeks after my grandfather died. And so my grandfather actually was the man who raised me. So more or less, it was like both my fathers died back to back. And I can remember in the days following his death, I would actually have to remind myself to breathe. When we're under a great amount of pressure or stress or fear or worry, we very often will hold our breath. You know, you'll catch yourself just, and then you're like, breathe. Because listen, if you're not breathing, you're not living. And so try to remember, it feels like this has just been a super stressful week for some of you. Take a breath, take a pause, let it out, okay? Just let it out. So let's see, what does the tarot say about this? Wow, that just came out fast. All right. Up first, we have the Emperor. This is in the past position. There is Aries. We've got, oh wow, the World, Libra, starting out with 2 major arcana. And then we have the 7 of Water, or the 7 of Cups. In the present position, we have the King of Fire, or the King of Wands. And so that's really the truth. You're really kind of looking at the big picture here. We have Chariot. Okay, so for some of you, you're not quite ready to move on, but the idea is getting there, and that's a timing card, so that's important. And then looky here, the Hierophant. Okay, so we have Taurus. So of the 6 cards on the table, 4 of them are the major arcana. Now, why is that important? The major arcana are really kind of the universal themes that everybody is going through, and this is really telling me that the collective is really wanting to shift the world. They're wanting to kind of move forward, to look and to get a deeper understanding of who they are, what it means to be healed. But in order to do that, they're going to have to look at the bigger picture. It looks like you've been kind of holding yourself back, and the time has come, is gaining momentum for healing. So we've got the Messenger of Air, or the Messenger of Swords. We have Temperance, or Temptation, in this deck. There is Sagittarius. So yet another major arcana, and then one more. Like I said, it feels like this week has really been building up to a peak, building up to a crescendo, and it feels like you're kind of coming out at the end of that. And look at this. I mean, another major arcana, Justice, Libra, and we end with the Page of Air. Okay, so look, out of the 9 cards, 2, 4, 8 of them are major arcana. I'm sorry. There are 10 cards here. Of the 10 cards, 7 of them are major arcana. I'm counting that wrong. 7 are 2, 4, 6. 6. I can't count today. Please excuse me. 6 of the 10 cards are major arcana. So this is telling me that, as I said, the energy has been kind of building. It feels like it's kind of started out almost fearful, almost stressful, almost unsure of where we're going. And somewhere in the beginning of the week, there was a shift, a click in your mind. It was like, I know what I need. I know what the next step is. I know what my soul is asking me to do. And it's almost like once you finally accept that, once you finally got comfortable with this and agreed, yep, that is what I'm going to do. This level of acceptance kind of gave you a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a sense of relief almost. And that is what I see coming forward. Hang on, let's see what's underneath. I forgot to see. Oh, looky here. We have underneath, we have the Fool, again, a major arcana. It's called the Magician here. Wait, not the Fool. This is the Magician. I was thinking this was Merlin, the Fool. My bad. This is the Magician. My bad. That's number 1. Card number 1, the Magician. We have Judgment, another major arcana. The Call here, the 3 of Earth, the 3 of Pentacles, the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wine, the 5 of Fire, the 5 of Wands, and finally we end with the 4 of Water, the 4 of Cups. I'm not going to end on that. We end on the Hanged Man. So again, you got 1, 2, 3 major arcana. So we have 9 major arcana on this table. That is significant. That is significant, okay? That's more than half the cards on the table are major arcana. So when I talk about the energy is gaining momentum, this is pretty much for all of you who are watching, and anybody who you are interacting with. The collective is really ready to heal. The collective is ready to quit holding their breath. They're ready to quit waiting for tomorrow and ready to do something about it, okay? So let's look at the past energy here. We have, as I said, Emperor. There is Aries. We have World. Here is Libra. And then there's the 7 of Water, the 7 of Cups. And so the choices that you were making in the past were really coming, it feels like, almost from, and I don't want you to take this as a kind of an insulting way, but understand when I say, it's almost like it was coming from the ego. The choices that you were making, the leadership style you're taking in your own life, was coming from kind of a lower vibrational point. You weren't being connected to the intuition. It feels like the ego, and there's nothing wrong with the ego. I don't want us to think the ego is bad, okay? That's not what I mean. The ego is necessary. It's there to keep us alive and healthy, and it serves its purpose. But sometimes the ego, it has a prime direction, and its prime direction is to keep you happy, healthy, and alive. But it doesn't always mean it's serving your best and highest good, okay? And that's what your intuition is. And so it feels like your world, the choices that you've been making around your world and have really been kind of egocentric, ego-based, perhaps. But I do believe that you are becoming to some understanding of that. This is past energy, so this just feels like, what is just past us. But this is the energy of you kind of coming to an understanding that it's. And when I say past, I mean this could be like your whole life up to this moment, okay? Like if you're 45 years old, it could be the last 45 years. But regardless, this is just this energy of the choices you've been making, the world that you've been creating. You're really starting to see that it was not always from an intuitive place. It wasn't always from the best and highest choices. And so the choices that you're making have been kind of ego-based. And that is a kind of an interesting realization. Okay, I really come and think that has a lot to do with time to breathe out. There's just this energy of I can let go of that responsibility and now of always being the one to make the choices. Now I have the ability to lean into and listen to my intuition and let my intuition guide me and lead me. So that is that energy of letting go of those egocentric energies and moving into more of an intuitive energy, because here we are in the present. We have King of Fire, King of Wands, Chariot. Now, this is the timing card. This is Cancer season. So all of this is leading up to Cancer season. The choices that you've been making this week are really shifting forward and are going to be playing out through Cancer season. And then we have Hierophant, and here's Taurus. And so, as I said, you're now seeing the bigger picture. And although you're not quite ready to just necessarily just like flip the whole apple cart, upside down and just, rock the boat here. I know that's a lot of metaphors in one sentence, right? You are ready, however, to take the steps towards being led by divine guidance. Also, let me say something. When Hierophant is on the table, this is about kind of coloring within the lines. So like, staying within the lines, not really thinking outside the box, kind of following the rules. And so it's, to me, it feels like there's just this moment where you're looking at the big picture of your life, trying to decide, do you like the direction you're going? Okay. And if you don't like the direction you're going, is it because you have been, have you been making choices that are in alignment with your higher self? That's really all it comes down to. Is the direction you're going the way you should be going, or are you doing this because you just decided that's what you wanted, and it turns out that what you wanted wasn't in your best interest? Okay, now this is about coming at it from a place of being aligned with your values. Okay, being aligned with what your value. When we talk about your values, this is the things that at the end of the day are the most important parts of yourself. Okay, these are the parts of yourself that are who you are at a soul level. Okay, and so this is about really getting realigned at a soul level, and you're ready. You're really ready. They're telling you to stand still for just a minute to allow the energy to gain momentum. But see, this is not saying the trigger is being pulled, let's go. The energy is gaining momentum, so that's why Chariot is standing still. But I do believe that come Cancer season, which is not that far away, this is the end of June into July. If you're watching this when I release this at the end of March, or middle of March 2024, it's about 3 months from now. There is this energy of allowing the situation to gain momentum through Cancer season, or until Cancer season, and then you're going to be moving forward. And so right now, this is the time to focus on where have you been holding yourself back, and what do you want to focus on going forward. In other words, and I don't just mean like spiritual, I'm talking about like career, health, friends and family, love life. Where are you feeling misaligned? Okay, where are you, because that misalignment has been coming because previous to this, the choices that you make were a little bit egocentric. They were coming from your ego, which again does not make them bad, okay? It does not mean they're bad. It just means that they were not intuitively made. And now you're looking at the big picture going, okay, that choice wasn't that it was the wrong choice. It was the right choice at the time, but now it may not be the right choice now. So maybe it's time to, maybe backpedal and start figuring out how can we get this in alignment with who we really are, okay? And so this is the time to pause, to allow the energy to gain momentum so that we can move when the time comes, all right? Because here we are moving forward into the future, and look what we got. The Messenger of Air, the Knight of Air. We have this card is called Temptation or Temperance, Sagittarius. Justice, there's Libra, and the Page of Air, the Page of Swords. So we begin with the Knight of Swords, we end with the Page of Swords. And so swords are all about the things we think and the way we express ourselves and knowing ourselves, okay? And so you are really moving forward, just this beautiful, I love these two. This is actually Archangel Michael right there with Sagittarius and Temperance, and Justice, okay? Justice with Libra. These two, this is the energy of cutting out the bullshit, okay? Of really getting to the heart of the matter, of being more, I want to say you're making balanced choices, but what I'm trying to say is being more conscientious, being more, what is the word I'm trying to say? Making choices that are in alignment with your values, okay? This is really coming from a place of alignment, really is what we mean by that. This is true alignment of not allowing your fears to drive you, moving forward bravely, being excited to learn, to grow, to heal. So let me say something. The choices, you're being asked to kind of look at your life right now. Where is it not going the way you want it? Friends, family, health, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health, love, career, and finances, okay? What is just not working, okay? Because it is time to let that out. Let that go. Time to breathe out. It's time to heal. See, take time. It's time to let it go and heal it, okay? The energy, though, doesn't mean that we're going to be making drastic changes. This is just about kind of taking a moment to review, self-review. Where did we get this wrong? And what do I need to correct it? The moment will come when the trigger is pulled where you can move forward. But this has just been a big week of big self-reflection, of figuring out what isn't working and coming back to yourself, coming back to what do I need? There's nothing self-centered about putting your needs first, okay? As long as you are not being cruel, when you're focusing on healing, you need to put yourself first. It's the only way it's ever going to work, okay? You're going to have to prioritize yourself. And to support that, look what's underneath. And then we will wrap this up. This is pretty long reading today. We have Magician. I'm still kind of laughing at how I said that wrong. There is a Magician. Here is Aries. We have Call or Judgment. There is Libra. We have the Three of Earth, the Three of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands. The Five of Fire, the Five of Wands. The Four of Water, the Four of Cups. And we end with the Hangman, Pisces. So there is that moment where we're standing still. We're really looking at how we've been holding ourselves back and allowing ourselves to create unnecessary stalemates, unnecessary drama, unnecessary just things that don't work, okay? This is your time. This is your moment where you are going to have the opportunity to kind of look backwards to see what worked, what didn't work, and if it didn't work, why isn't it working, and what can you do to either correct it or move on? Okay, this is very important. This is not about stirring the pot. The Queen of Fire is in reverse. The Three of Earth. This is, I mean, where are you? This is your opportunity to be a little bit judgmental. Okay, I think that's why I love the Magician and Caller here, both in reverse. Magician is telling you this is not the time to start something new. Okay, this is not the time to focus on creating something new. Instead, be a little discerning. That's the word I was looking for. Be a little discerning. Let's look back over the times that maybe the relationships we had weren't working out. Three of Earth in reverse. Maybe we were picking people who brought too much drama, too much stress, too much into our life. And why? Why did we choose that? Why didn't we say, hey, you're not good for me, or this situation is not good for me, or this whole thing is not good for me? Why instead do we go against our own best judgment? Instead, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. And this is very important. I feel like what's happened this week is that the pressure has built up until the top popped off the bottle, and just the drink just exploded, came full, bubbling over. That's what I'm looking for. Just bursting out, spraying out everywhere. I think that you finally reached the point where the stress has gotten to be too much this week, and it just, and now it's in your face, and you can see this isn't working. This is not working. And at some point they're asking you to take a pause, take a break, go have some fun, disconnect, unplug yourself from the situation. But then once you've recharged your batteries, now is the time to come back, to reflect, to figure it out. What is working? What isn't working? And just stand still. Wait for the time to come when it's now time to move forward. This is, you don't want to jump without a net to catch you. You don't want to get in the car and start driving without a map, okay? And that's what this is. This is your chance to get the map, to get that safety net so that you can move forward when the time comes, all right? So just pause, be reflective, and maybe spend the weekend figuring out what's working for me and what isn't. And if you have not had a chance to go out and have some fun after this stressful week, please take the time to go have some fun this weekend, okay? All right, if you found this helpful, I hope that you will be sure to like, comment, or share this with somebody who could enjoy it. And as always, I hope that you will come back. Until the next time I see you, you take care of yourself. Love you.